What does a nosy pepper do?
Nosy pepper. I don't know.
Gets jalapeno business.
Jalapeno business. Oh, that's got to be a t-shirt. Our next t-shirt.
Hungry Squared, bringing you the best food talk anywhere.
Welcome to the Hungry Squared podcast where the brain and belly meet. I'm Sharon from the Wasatch Cooking Guide.
And I'm Winter from theredparty.com. This week, we are talking with May Friedel of the Indian Cuisine Diabetes Cookbook and talking all about spices.
Spicy.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about it.
Hungry Squared, yeah, Hungry Squared.
Sharon, how's your week been? We actually haven't recorded for a long time. So how are you? And yeah, how have you been?
I've been good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Thanks to Ike and Lee for hosting our podcast last week.
Which was so awesome.
Talking about barbecue.
Yeah, we are excited actually for the summer. We have something exciting coming down the line.
We do.
We will tell you about it probably on the next episode.
Or stay tuned for some Facebook and Instagram videos.
Yes, because we're really excited, and Ike and Lee are very excited.
Yeah, equally.
Equally. It's pretty funny.
But my week's been really good.
Yeah.
I went on a little mini vacation.
You did, didn't you?
Yes.
Tell me what you did, because I think this is cool. I was like, what are you doing?
Well, so I had a birthday about a month ago.
Yay.
And then two of my girlfriends wanted to go on a trip for my birthday. I wanted to go on a big trip for my birthday, but it didn't really happen because I had some other things going on at the same time. So this was our little mini trip.
Yep.
And we went down to Capitol Reef, which is a national park in south central Utah.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool. So it's kind of near Bryce Canyon. It's near the Goblin Valley State Park, which you see those hoodoo rocks, like the goblins,
I'll post a picture of that if you don't
Those
know
are
what we're
pretty
talking
cool.
about. Yeah, they're really cool.
and it's by Escalante
Mhm.
Staircase National Monument too. So there's a lot of really cool stuff around there. And part of the park is you just drive through on the highway and you don't even have to pay an entrance fee.
Nice.
And there's hiking trails and campgrounds and stuff like that. And it's just really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We also went to the Mars Desert Research Station.
Which is what I was talking about. I was like, what are you doing?
It's owned by the MarsSociety.org.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to that website and learn all about it. But they work with different space agencies around the world, like the European Space Agency, some of the Russian cosmonauts.
Crazy.
And they do research about what it would be like to live on Mars and the
Because-
feasibility of putting people on Mars.
Because Utah is like Mars, people.
In the desert, there's certain places that mimic a little bit of that landscape.
Yes.
And they have also sandstorms like Mars does. And so they've got these, they have a hab that they've built.
A habitat, right?
Yes. And a laboratory, a greenhouse. It's all connected by an external tunnel system. They've got an observatory. And it's in a dark sky area.
Oh.
So if you don't know what that is, there's a lot of national parks that have been designated dark sky parks. So this is nearby
Mhm.
Capitol Reef, outside of Hanksville, Utah. And Capitol Reef is a dark sky park.
Nice.
So anyway, the point of me telling all of this was that we had a really cool tour at the Mars Desert Research Station. You should email their director, Shannon, to get more information about that. We had some really good food
Oh.
in the middle of nowhere, Utah.
So this is what you ate this week then?
This is what I ate this week.
Okay, well, what did you eat this week?
I had the pie sampler at the Sun Glow restaurant.
Oh.
So let me tell you about the pie sampler.
Okay, well, where is the Sunglow restaurant? Is it in
It's located in Bicknell, Utah.
Bicknell, if I'm not mistaken.
Right?
Uh-huh.
Misty, shout out to Misty,
Hey, Misty.
and Brian. They are co-owners of the Sun Glow restaurant, and they're awesome. It's a real family atmosphere. Everybody's just really nice and great customer service.
Awesome.
And awesome food.
Okay.
The
The pie sampler, though.
The pie
You had
sampler.
me at pie. Let's talk about the pie.
So buttermilk pie, which
Okay.
is kind of like a lemon curd a little bit,
Oh, really?
and buttermilk mixed. It's really yummy.
Okay.
There was an oatmeal pie.
An oatmeal pie.
Mm-hmm. So it has an oatmeal base.
Huh.
And some caramelization with the brown sugar going on.
Mhm.
And I want to say there was some stewed apples in there, and I can't remember.
Sweet.
It was really yummy.
I don't understand this pie. It's like oatmeal. Like the
filling
is oatmeal.
It's not oatmeal.
Oh.
No. It's a pie.
Okay.
We can put a picture of this
Okay.
pie sampler up on our show notes.
Okay.
And we can point out which
what is
pies
what. Okay.
are.
Okay.
Yeah. So it has a pie consistency, pie filling consistency.
Okay.
All of these do. Okay.
Like
so
a
it's going to get
cream-
weirder as I talk about these pies. Okay.
Okay.
The oatmeal pie is a little bit more creamy, but it looks like an oatmeal crumb, like a streusel crumb top.
Ooh, on top. Yum.
It's a regular pastry crust.
Mm-hmm.
The crust is super flaky. It's really yummy. Still moist, not dry. It's a really good crust, you guys.
I love crust.
I do too. You would love this crust. Okay. All of the pies have this crust, and it was amazing, except for their, what was it? The carrot cake cheesecake had a different crust.
Oh, okay.
And it was a carrot cake crust. It was really good.
What?
Yeah. So there was the buttermilk pie. There was the oatmeal pie. There was a pinto bean pie.
Excuse me?
Which is my personal favorite.
Wait, I don't understand that either. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm having a hard time.
Made with pinto beans. And so it's
sweet.
It is sweet. There is a slightly savory flavor, but it is not a bean flavor. It's not a taco bean flavor.
Interesting. Well,
really yummy.
In the Asian cult, a lot of the Asian cultures, they use an adzuki bean and make sweet desserts out of it. So I can get around that. I can get behind that.
Yeah. All of these pies were served with whipped cream.
Okay.
Real whipped cream. It was really tasty. The last is a pickle pie.
Sweet pickle pie?
No, it wasn't dill pickle, but it was a pickle pie. So pickles are chopped very finely. The pickles add texture and a little bit of crunch.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Into this filling that's kind of like a pumpkin pie filling. So it has pumpkin pie spices, but not pumpkin flavor. It's got a lot of clove and allspice flavor to it. The pumpkin adds acidity to it, so it balances out the sweet, and it adds crunch.
The pickles.
Mm-hmm.
The pickles add. You said pumpkin.
Oh, did I? I meant pickles.
The pickles add. Okay.
The pickles add crunch. Yeah, I think that would be your favorite pie.
Really?
Honestly. Yes. I think you would love that pie.
Okay. Well.
So our server said it's similar. A lot of people have commented that it's similar to mincemeat.
Oh, okay.
Per a previous episode, you would know that I am not a mincemeat pie fan.
I ate the
I am
mincemeat.
a fan of this pie.
I like mincemeat pie. We had some friends make us some, and that was good.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay. I may have to try 4 pies.
4 pies. Yeah. So you get a half slice
Ooh.
of these pies. It was really good. So instead of getting 4 full pie slices, you get like 4 half slices. So you feel a little bit better about yourself.
Yeah. 2 full pieces. Yeah, fine. I think I'd be good with that.
Yeah, it's good. So we also tried their avocado key lime pie.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. Very rich and creamy.
I was going to say, I feel like the lime would just still come out.
It does.
And you
does.
probably wouldn't get too much avocado.
You don't get too much avocado. It's there for a creamy thickness.
Okay.
It's great. And natural color.
Mm-hmm.
We also tried a salted caramel banana cream.
Oh, that sounds...
Please know that we were here for a couple of days, so we didn't eat all of these pies in one sitting.
Right.
And we also tried the carrot cake cheesecake.
That sounds really good.
Cheesecake on top, carrot cake on the bottom. Really yummy.
That sounds really, really yummy. Okay, well, so the name of that cafe again?
Sunglow Restaurant.
Sunglow Restaurant.
You can find them on Facebook, and they're just really kind. They're really great. If you go to Mario Batali, his Instagram, he featured their pies and their chili verde, which is also the best chili verde I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
the best.
Well,
Please know that their chili verde is not green. It is red,
oh,
but that is not a big deal. And it's really good. So go
That's
to Mario
exciting.
Batali's Instagram. He was there in May, around the middle of May. Iron Chef Mario Batali. He bought several pies and a few quarts of their chili verde.
nice.
So, if he likes it, this place is legit.
I know. I wonder what he was doing.
They're also
around here.
featured, I believe, on the Food Network app.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Well, cool. I'm going to have to check them out the next time I'm in southern central Utah
Yes.
area.
And you can call them up, and I think they are, if you talk to Misty, they're willing to mail a pie.
I am
And
wanting.
their pies are very reasonably priced, people.
Maybe we'll have to go down there on a little summer trip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Noted.
Winter, what did you eat this week? Since I know it's not going to be as good as a Sunglow pie.
Apparently it's not going to be as good, but I will challenge that. So, as you know, last week we talked about the IKEA Midsummer Smorgasbord, and we went.
Yeah, we did.
We went, and it was super tons of fun. And I have eaten some things at IKEA, their restaurant, their family restaurant.
Mhm.
And I love, and I am one of those people that if I find something, I'm just going to stick to it. I'm one of those people.
The meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Yeah, basically with the lingonberry sauce. So, but because it was a smorgasbord, there was like so much more food that I have never even tried before.
Yeah.
And the thing that blew me over was something that they're like, oh yeah, everything that is here, we have it downstairs in our like kitchen, not kitchen, but their food
market,
store
pantry.
market. Yeah. And it was, so they served many types of, many preparations of salmon, but the one I loved was the hot smoked salmon. And so you can get it in their pantry or their food store thing. I think it's called Laxvarmgroikt. Wow.
How many umlauts are in that?
Just one umlaut. But it was served cold, but it had been cooked, but it had like the perfect smoky flavor to it. It was so good. Like I just keep going back to that piece of salmon that I ate because I liked cold smoked salmon.
Right.
That's fine.
It's good.
It's good.
Lox.
Love them. But this one was just like, it had such good smoky flavor to it. And then when you pair that with the fingerling potatoes that they had, and then you just dip it in that dill sauce that dill creamy sauce. It was so good. We had so much fun. I want to shout out to the IKEA folks there. Carrie, who runs the restaurant area, and her staff. I mean, they did a phenomenal job. So
It was beautiful.
yeah, we're excited to partner with them in the future. And so more to come on that. But you guys, if you ever get a chance to go to one of their little like celebration things, you should do it.
Yeah. The buffets that they advertise.
Yeah.
You won't be sorry.
Yeah.
Just know that. You won't be sorry.
It's just a good little environment too. Like it's so fun because there were families there and there were, because it's the midsummer celebration.
Brought our families.
Yep. We brought our families and they had like maypoles set up and they had like cute crafts and stuff. It was super fun. So go find out your neighborhood IKEA and figure out what they're doing next. I think something's coming down the line in August.
Yeah. And P.S. Your picky eaters will eat it. Ours did.
I was surprised when Sharon told me that. I was like, that's awesome.
He even tried pickled herring.
Yeah. Oh, he did?
Yes.
I kind of like that.
I
The
did
pickled
too.
herring.
Yeah.
It was very dilly and yeah, it was good. Anyway, thanks again, IKEA. That was super, super fun for inviting us.
And now for the main course.
Okay, let's get down to our first topic at hand. We're here with May Friedel, and we are going to talk to her about her new cookbook, Indian Cuisine Diabetes Cookbook. It's endorsed by the American Diabetes Association.
And you guys, when you hear this interview, you will realize how much research and testing went into making this cookbook friendly for just so that you're eating healthier. And if you're a diabetic, then this is a great option for you it's
a good option for preventing diabetes
yes,
too.
Exactly.
If you have any type of a chronic illness, this would be a great cookbook, regardless of whether or not it's diabetes.
Yeah.
If you have chronic illness, this would be a great cookbook to check out.
And I was going to just say, I feel a little bit more ready to start cooking more Indian cuisine.
Yeah.
Because I feel like her book,
She breaks it down.
she breaks it down. And in her interview she talks a lot about different things. Because I was like, I don't know what this is. And she kind of breaks it down. So it's really fun. We're excited to have her on. We hope you enjoy this interview.
Hi, everybody. We're here with May Friedel, and she just wrote a cookbook called Indian Cuisine Diabetes Cookbook. May grew up in Kerala, India, and her family is part of the spice trade. They lived an entirely sustainable lifestyle, and she is very knowledgeable. She's a food literacy advocate. She's been teaching classes for a long time, and her website is called passionforspices.com. You can find her at Passion for Spices on Instagram and on Facebook and Twitter. And her book is available through Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all major booksellers.
Welcome, May. We are so excited to have you with us today.
Thank you, Sharon and Winter. Very excited to be in your podcast as well.
So go ahead. Oh, sorry, Sharon.
Go ahead, Winter.
Well, I was going to say, I was ecstatic to when we kind of got in touch with May because she, Sharon mentioned, she wrote this cookbook called the Indian Cuisine Diabetes Cookbook. And I mean, there are plenty of Indian cookbooks out there, but this one had a little bit of a difference to it. There was basically an endorsement from the American Diabetes Association.
Right on the cover. It's awesome.
Yeah. And so this falls into what we talk about. So we're excited to have you on, May.
Thank you.
Can you start out from the beginning? How in the world did you start down this path? I mean, you obviously have this website called Passion for Spices. You sell your own different spice blends. How did you get started cooking and being interested in spices?
I just wanted to mention that I come from Kerala, which is the spice center of the world. And I grew up with the scent of spices with a sustainable lifestyle. And I came about 25 years ago to this country, and I got caught up in the American way, and I got lost in the way of cooking here. And I was busy and never started cooking from scratch, and caught up in the American style. And what happened is, after I got married, I had a child with immune system disorders. I stopped and thought about it, and I said, what is going wrong? Thing is, all of us, we never took vitamins, we ate good food. But I came here and I changed my lifestyle. So I stopped and started making everything from scratch, integrating spices, following the principles of my parents and grandparents. And my child's illnesses health has dramatically improved. And after that, I started testing more and more recipes the way I grew up with. And I started doing classes and stuff like that. And then I stopped and said, when I started shopping for spices, we couldn't get good quality spices. So I said, okay, I have to launch Passion for Spices with a background, of good knowledge of spices. So we had to introduce this quality spices and kind of a starter kit for people to get introduced to spices. I met the ADA people, and when I mentioned about the background, they were very excited to, invite me to write about spices and the health benefits of spices, and integrating that to prevent illnesses, especially diabetes.
Wow, that's impressive. That's quite the background with your son having a complete change in his health, which is that's awesome. So, did you cook as a child then when you were in India?
Yeah, in Indian families, we are very much into food, and the grandmothers and mothers and all our family members are excellent cooks, and everything is local. The fish is caught right there, the vegetables are grown, the grains are grown. So I see, like, we had about 3 kitchens. We'll be pounding rice, we're making dosas, which is the lentil crepe. So that memories was there always in my mind. And in coming here, it is hard to do all that. So what I did is tested the recipes in a practical way using the gadgets. For example, I have the Vitamix to make dosa batter. The rotis can be made in a food processor, which is easily. And so I kept testing, and then I became a master, and I kept going for classes. I traveled to India to meet with chefs and families to collect recipes. So really authentic recipes tested in the sustainable test kitchen we have here. That's really the gist of our recipes.
That's awesome. Can you tell me a little bit more about the philosophy of cooking in India?
Yes, Indian philosophy is a healthy philosophy in the sense We try to eat seasonally with wholesome ingredients and layers of spices and anti-inflammatory properties of spices, which obviously will help us. But the spices, the way you add spices is based on seasons. Certain seasons we use certain spices. If it is hot, we have certain types of spices. And Ayurveda, I want to mention, is the principle which my family followed for generations. My grandfather was 100 years old, had no illnesses, but always he mentioned you have to eat this bitter gourd for certain seasons, and turmeric, you have to use it with black pepper, and it has to be used in ghee or any kind of oil to absorb in your body. If you have asthmatic, don't drink milk or yogurt in the evening. So those principles were integrated into our lifestyle, and a balanced meal, which is actually very important for us. We just didn't eat just a piece of meat and salad, but we have a whole group of things we put together. Like we have a couple of different types of vegetables, seasonal vegetables. Then we have a dal, which is like the lentil, which is another protein. Then we eat fish or meat, depends on the season and what is available. And then we have yogurt freshly made and brown rice, any kind of whole grain. And everything is so freshly made. So it really made a difference in our food philosophy.
That's great. I think seasonal cooking is so important. Seasonal eating.
Yes. And I recommend here, so we promote in my business, we promote edible gardens. I'm recommending to grow your own. It's very simple. I'm showcasing that in my house. We have pretty much used a lot of vegetables from our garden seasonally. We have 3 seasons of garden growing in my house with herbs like, curry leaves to bay leaves to cilantro to parsley. So we have all kinds of herbs. Very simple thing is, it is very simple to do that, but integrating that into your food really makes it gourmet and fun and colorful from young to old. Thing is, and especially preventing illness is so important for anybody. Thing is that you can do it at home. Simple steps if you take, it's very simple to practice that.
And it's less expensive too. I mean, if you're growing your own things, it's great on the wallet book. And then it's also a great family activity to garden together, to have that opportunity to spend time together. I think that is, that's a beautiful philosophy.
Yes. And in my camp, I have a farm to table. So we showcase ingredients like tomatoes and eggplants and different kinds of. So this is so important for kids to learn. Many of the kids don't know how the vegetables look like. So I think that is why I launched the camps where we really teach them ingredients and how to use them. Don't be afraid of things. And a lot of my kids, the parents are very thankful that they have started to eat much better than they used to.
So these camps that you do for kids, are they day camps?
Day camps, the 4 weeks in August. If you look at that, if you go into the camp brochure, you will see we really have around the world theme and farm to table, art and science of cooking. And the 4th week is a family camp where the parents come and cook together. And then we have different themes and we do that. Yeah.
That's so fun. And you've been doing this. This is your 8th year of doing the camps, right?
Yeah, this is the 8th year and it's a sold out class.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing. So next year, everybody, if you want to join in on that, it's in New Jersey, right?
Summit, New Jersey.
In Summit, New Jersey. So get on passionforspices.com and that will give you more information.
I'm just a little bummed that we are so far away because I'm like, I think we would totally go do the class.
We and our team have to come to your place.
I know, exactly. I was like, if you're ever visiting in Utah, we will put something on.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so a quick question about, so you said that you were from Kerala, and that is the spice capital of the world. So was your family involved in growing and selling spices?
Yes, actually it's so fascinating. When I did start writing the book, so I did the research and my background. I knew we were spice traders and all that, but I believe we came 52 AD when Saint Thomas came to India. During that time, a group of people came from Persia. So we were pepper and gold traders, and my family established in this area in Kerala. The whole area is ours, like a lot of pepper farms and coconut plantations and cardamom and nutmeg. And So it's really amazing how it has influenced the world, the spices, and I'm so thankful that I'm part of that and I can share the wisdom of using the spices to everyone.
That's crazy that you can draw that all the way back to 5280. That's
Yes,
impressive.
I know it is. I know it is, and I am a converted by Saint Thomas Christian. I am a Christian, and so many recipes are traditional Syrian Christians. We are,
Hmm.
and it's so a lot of classic recipes I've showcased in the book Syrian Christian recipes. So interesting. It is the combination of the Dutch and the English and the you can see like so many influences have showcased in the book regarding culinary history, and I'm fascinated with that subject as well.
Yes, we love history here on this podcast.
Yes.
Can we talk a little bit about how we're going to get back to spices because I have some personal questions about spices because I
Sure.
can't quite seem to do them. But I want to first hit on the diabetes portion of the prevention of diabetes with your cookbook. Now, obviously diabetes is an epidemic in the US. There are so many health problems related to diabetes. And so
Yes.
I'm just wondering, give me a couple of examples of the dishes that you would maybe prepare and why they would be different from some of the things that are common in United States diet, I guess. Why is
Yes.
it different? What sets it apart? What makes it low glycemic index or less sugar? I mean, tell me how it sets it apart. Some of
Yes.
the recipes that you have in your book.
The principle I say is use less fat and no sugar, less salt. But when you add spices and flavors, it enhances the palate instead of using more fat. For example, the French cooking, you add fat and cream to make it more tastier. But here you have layers and layers of flavors. For example, the first, we do something called masala. Masala is nothing but a mixture of spices in different order. So I call it art of cooking. See, it's art of using spices. I have a whole class on that. Basically, we add first layer, for example, is ginger garlic paste. Everybody should have ginger and garlic and make a paste in the fridge for a week, at least a week or two, it'll stay. That is the basic ingredient you need to have. And then you need to have other things like lemon, lime, curry leaves, cilantro leaves, things like that. You need to have all these basic ingredients. And actually, in the Indian pantry list, I have showcased that. So you should have some of these things, and it's easier to make Indian dishes. And the way Indian dishes are made, see, when you make a steak, it's like a whole big portion, yeah? But when you serve Indian food, it's small portions of very flavorful food. So you feel satisfied by eating that small portion, but it's full of flavor. So that's the difference. My husband is American, but he wants a big steak with potato, but very different style in my family. Thing is, but now he's so fascinated with my cooking, and my child also eats. He likes flavor, loves flavor. So he says, oh, he wants to add more chilies or flavor, or if it's bland, he hates it. So I think it's the palate enhancement. You need to practice. Like, people sometimes are not used to spices, so you add a little by little. See, you don't want to overpower the spices. Add mild flavors. And actually, one of the things I want to mention is a lot of spices, if you eat raw, it doesn't taste good. So the technique is to put in the oil. We call the technique called bruna, sauteing the spices mixed with a little water or vinegar. So there are a lot of techniques are mentioned here in the Indian cooking techniques, how to toast the spices, how to grind the spices, how to make sauces. We have really handpicked good, healthy techniques. For example, steaming and grilling and bracing. We call it the korma, which is nothing but bracing in a liquid like coconut milk or yogurt. So these are the different techniques we use in Indian cooking. And I have made it simple as I can so that everybody can practice it at home. The key is to have all these ingredients all the time so that when you want to, for example, you want to make a fish. See, one of my favorite dishes is the branzino roasted branzino. So you have any kind of fish, salmon or thing, you can put in the oven, no mess, no fuss. So basically you have ginger garlic paste in your home, you marinate that, and then you add the layer of masala, which is the mixture of the spices. You apply that and then tuck some lemon juice or whatever vinegar you want to add, and then you just put in the oven. And it's gorgeous fish when you come out. It's flavorful. It is not bland. It's very satisfying. That is the way, thing is, I wanted to showcase the food. Another thing is we add condiments. That's another different, instead of having all, like for example, you use sauces, different kinds of ketchup, but this is much more healthier. The sauces which I have showcased here, like the coriander, mint chutneys, the salads, for example, I have a beetroot carrot salad, very simple.
Wow.
No oil. It goes well with a lot of grills. Yeah, it's very, very simple. And the raitas, you can make all kinds of raitas. Raita is a condiment we use very commonly in India. It's very cooling. You can use any vegetable. You can use beetroot raita, carrot raita. But once you learn how to make the raita base, then it's easy. And
The
and it's
raita
actually
base is like a yogurt base, right?
yogurt base, yeah. And you can grate cucumber. And then you add some lemon or sorry, not lemon, mint, chiffonade mint or coriander, or just add that, and then that's it. And then I add toasted cumin. When you talk about the techniques of spices, as I mentioned, you have to be careful when you use them. For example, cumin. Have you seen cumin seeds by any chance?
Yes.
Yes.
So if you take raw cumin seeds, it is not very flavorful. But try roasting that in a cast iron skillet, plain, no oil, nothing, on medium heat. Just toast it, and then you start crushing in it using a pestle and mortar, and then you crush it in anything. I put it in everything, toasted cumin like that. It really makes a big difference.
So I've pulverized, I guess, or crushed the cumin seeds in the mortar and pestle, but I haven't toasted them beforehand.
Oh,
How long do you toast them?
Just maybe 5 minutes, even less. Like, don't burn them. Burning makes it
Right.
really. Just as soon as you smell the fragrance, it can light brown color.
Okay.
So keep shaking the pan. If you put this in even guacamole, my lord, that big
Oh,
difference.
yeah.
Really?
If you do that, people will go crazy with my guacamole
Whoa.
because nobody knows. That's a secret.
Okay.
Mind blown right there.
So you talked about ginger garlic paste and how that's a common base. How do you make that?
It is in the book. So take
okay.
equal quantities of ginger and garlic. Another tip, to peel ginger, you can use a spoon to use it. If you don't know how to peel it, just use a spoon, back of a spoon.
Huh.
And garlic, one tip I learned from a chef is take the middle portion of the garlic. It's not good for the stomach, I hear. So I remove the middle portion and then put all the things in a small food processor. I usually have a little Cuisine food processor which I use to make masala and chopping ginger and all that. It's very, very useful.
I was about to say it's probably one of those 1-cup food processors.
Very practical. Very practical to have that. And you just add a little bit of oil, not too much oil, because I heard again from my head chef that it can create botulism. If you put too much oil, it doesn't, the oxygen doesn't escape. So all these tips, see, everything I've done is by expert chefs from here. Now I have a team of chefs. We work and discuss and the best possible techniques and ingredients we use. So these are all tested. So it's not like an ordinary cookbook. So we have really taken a lot of time, thoroughly researched and tested recipes.
I keep thinking of that fish that you were talking about. So you, with that ginger garlic paste, you marinate it. And how long do you marinate that for?
I think you can even do for half an hour.
Okay.
Not more than 2 hours. Okay. You don't want to do too much. And then just marinate it and you score them so that if you have a whole fish like, red snapper, I love branzino because it's so nice. Everybody in the house loves branzino. So you score them so the masala comes inside the tummy, everything, tuck the masala and put lemon slices inside them and then just roast it. And the masala, you mix it. I have given you the tips. Like mix all the spices. If you have my spices, I'm happy to send you guys to test. So just take my Kerala curry, just mix with a little lemon juice or something and salt. And salt, what you use should be very careful too. I really like to use sea salt. Any kind of good sea salt available, not processed salt.
Yes.
It really is not good, So add that sea salt and then just put it in the oven and it's so flavorful for an event or for yourself. It's a treat. Yeah, I use salmon. I do all fishes like that. It's very simple. And even the lamb chops, everything is, see, all the recipes I try to make it very simple and easy. And we have some fabulous soups actually with curry spice. Did you see the sorbas?
Yes.
The tomato sorbas, and yeah, we have a great collection. I'm very thankful. It took a lot of time for me, but it really is worth it. I wanted to showcase.
It's a beautifully curated cookbook.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm very thankful to ADA for helping me. The team was awesome. They did a fabulous job, coordinating with me.
And now, May, I'm looking at, there's a section called the Indian Pantry. Some of the Indian spices and things that I would find in an Indian pantry are unfamiliar to me.
Okay, let me see.
If anybody has the book, it's on page 22, 23. And one thing that I noticed specifically in your pantry is the sweeteners. Because once again, one of the things that with the concerns of diabetes, like you want to make sure your sweeteners are going to give, you're going to get more bang for your buck, I guess. And so you have listed like honey and maple syrup. You have different stevia blends and that type of thing. And I thought that was interesting that there's no refined sugar there or anything like that.
No refined sugar, yes. The dessert portion was the hardest for me because, I have never cooked with these things, but I had to test for ADA, things. So I wanted to make it really tasty, but at the same time, with real ingredients, which really worked well. So
good.
Maple syrup, I love good quality maple syrup in a lot of recipes, and good quality honey, local honey, if you can get. And these stevia blends were the best, and they are good for you, I hear.
I'm a sweet tooth person. I love some desserts, and so I'm excited to try some of these out. I'm always looking for something.
And the hung curd, the yogurt paste, the one which I flavored with saffron, that's a really nice one.
Ooh.
Simple, easy, like you can just have it.
Wonderful. I'm going back to my personal question about spices. Because May, I will be the first to admit that I have some spices in my cupboard that are probably more than a couple years old.
Winter.
I know. Can we talk a little bit more about spices? And
sure.
Because I know that you actually have a line of your own spices, because you've mentioned toasting. Can you go a little bit more into how you toast them, how I would grind them, because you've mentioned a mortar and pestle, and I think some people may be intimidated by that. Can we talk a little bit about those kind of techniques?
How long they keep too. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, usually depends on the spice blend. Actually, things if the whole, if it is whole spices like black pepper, cardamom, the nutmeg and things like that will stay in the shelf for a long time, more than 2-3 years. If it's a blend, which is sometimes you get in the stores, these huge bottles, and I think it doesn't last more than a year. So you have to be careful with that. So what we have done in our spice line is small quantities of spices so that it finishes fast. Once you open it, it doesn't stay long if it's blended already. So you have to be careful. And also the quality of spices. For example, you can get different kinds of cinnamon in the market. And I'm sure people are confused, which is a Ceylon cinnamon or a cassia. Cassia is not really a cinnamon. So you have to be careful what you buy. Like when you buy, you don't know. The market really confuses you, You have a lot of choices and you don't know what to buy. So those are the things I mentioned actually in the descriptions. I have given the details of spices. When you make the blends, as you asked me, when you toast spices like cumin, coriander, so every spice has different timing necessary for toasting. Cumin might toast quicker than coriander, so you have to toast it individually. If you really toast it together, you have to be very careful. You have to really shake it very well so that the cumin doesn't burn faster than the other one. And use medium, and I prefer a cast iron skillet so it toasts better and evenly. Then you can use a food processor, a coffee grinder kind of thing to powder them, or you can use a mortar and pestle. And the ginger garlic paste I mentioned, I use a small food processor. It's very easy. It has to be like a smooth paste. You can add a little bit of water and a little oil and lemon juice to prevent that from turning green. So if you don't use that lemon juice, it turns green quickly. Yeah.
That's good to know. The different techniques that you have, Whenever I go to an Indian restaurant, I'm always kind of
Yes.
like, I think I know what it means, but I don't know what it
Mhm.
means. So I didn't know what korma was until you mentioned it earlier, but it really is
Yes.
just braising. Is that right?
Korma is nothing but a bracing of in certain flavorful liquids, So we have layers. Usually it's cashew based and yogurt based and very delicate flavor for korma. It is usually whiter, like not dark color. Korma is usually, like yellow, light yellow, very light flavors, very simple flavors, not too much spices in kormas. So it's a very delicate based bracing. Tandoori style cooking, I want to emphasize, it's been around for a long time, and I think it's influenced by the Afghani rulers who were there in India. And basically, it is a dome-shaped clay cooking vessel, which really goes on very high temperature, and it's seared so fast. And and kebabs and rotis, which is the bread, they are all made in this tandoor oven. But I am mimicking that by bringing that into your home with a very high temperature. You can do the tandoori cooking in your home. But the key is to the marination. For example, if you want to make tandoori style cooking, we marinate the chicken. You can even do overnight. If you are busy, let's say you want to make tandoori chicken tomorrow, you marinate today, you buy good quality meat. I prefer organic if I can, with no hormones and things. So there are different layers of marination. First is the lemon juice to make it tender, and then you do the ginger garlic paste, and then you layer it with the different masalas based on the type. So tandoori masala it's a red color. So I actually used a specific chili to give a good color. I think it's the guajillo chili I used. The one is available here. So really good, or smoked paprika to get a good color. So it's very simple, easy. Like, you can marinate it overnight and put it in the oven. It's so moist the way we do it. The marination, you will see the difference. It's really moist and flavorful. People love, that's why it's so tender and tasty by the techniques.
Yeah, I love tandoori food, but especially those meats. But how long are you marinating, like each step?
You can do marinating. I think it's mentioned about a half an hour for the lemon juice, and then the ginger garlic paste, and then for half an hour, and then you can do the masalas.
Okay.
Masalas. Another thing I want to mention is the oil. You want to brush it with the cooking oil, which has high heat. Thing is, you don't want to brush it with olive oil. It can burn and it can hurt you.
Because it has a different smoking temperature. Okay.
Smoking point, yes. So I emphasize to use either, like, that's why the sunflower oil I recommend, or mix it with a little ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. It's in the book. It has actually, we remove the milk solids. So it's actually in Ayurveda, they recommend ghee because it's much more healthier for your body. So we brush a little bit of ghee, amazing flavor. It will transform your food into something which will never, it's very different. You'll see that anything, if you add a little bit of ghee, not too much. So I had to always negotiate with ADA to add a little bit of ghee.
Some of the recommendations, I mean, they don't want you to get rid of everything. They just want you to be much more moderate. So Yes,
I am a gourmet cook. I love flavor. So it was very hard for me testing out, remove the salt, remove the ghee, remove this.
Yeah.
So I had a hard time. So we made it.
That's great. I think that's awesome. So with the tandoori style, then you said that I can do it at home. I'm basically marinating everything, and then I'm going to go ahead and crank my oven up
or in the outdoor.
Oh, okay.
Grill.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do it on the grill.
It's really fabulous. It's really tasty. You will see. And brush it with the ghee or mixed with oil. Oh, you will see it's amazing flavor. And it's moist. It gets moist when you do that. And you can do tandoori fish. You can do tandoori shrimp. All these things you can do depends on the season. It really makes a difference, the marination. And a lot of lemon, lime. We use a lot of flavors. And then also you eat with chutneys, like the mint and coriander chutneys in the book as well. It's very simple. And I have a lemon chutney, which I love. My mom's favorite lemon chutney. We can eat it with fried rice or anything you want. That lemon chutney is the whole lemon. You take it out, the seeds, and then just put the whole thing in the food processor without any oil.
Really?
And it is so tasty. And you put a little sugar. Thing is, in this I couldn't add too much sugar, but
right.
We add a little more sugar and just chili powder, and that's it.
Wow. The entire lemon rind.
Yeah, and it's so good
pith.
for you. And full the lemon, the skin is so good for
Yeah,
you.
the oil in that.
And the skin, and so that's why this is so special, this book. A lot of knowledge has been passed down, and it's a gourmet style. It's not boring.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at these recipes and they are so good.
Yeah.
I mean, this is stuff that you would definitely be restaurant quality
Yes.
kind of a thing,
Yes.
not just your do it at home kind of stuff.
Yes, but I want to point out also some of the Indian recipes are not that healthy. For example, using potatoes, I swapped all the potatoes with sweet potato. A potato masala I have, like I switched white potato to sweet potato. Even the rotis I made with whole grain, like whole wheat pastry flour, which is easily available nowadays,
Right.
really comes out well. So if you can get organic, that's better even. And pork vindaloo, they use the fattier kind of meat, but I use pork loin, and it's really tested well to get a really nice, the American techniques that we have applied. So it really is moist. And actually, while they were testing, they told me that it was really amazingly good.
Oh, good. I think that Indian cooking seems intimidating to me.
Yeah.
I just am like, I don't think I'm glad that
I
you
know
guys have
all of
tested.
2 Indian recipes
Yeah.
that I can make really well.
Yeah, no, but you please try some of the recipes. I would love your
Yes.
feedback. I know look
I'm
at the pork
excited.
vindaloo. It's very simple. You just have to get the spices, most of the spices you have, and then you just put everything in the food processor and marinate it and put in the oven.
What would you say the cooking level is needed for your cookbook? Is this beginner, expert, kind of intermediate, or is it a mix?
It is a mix because I have layered it in such a way that the beginners can use certain recipes and the medium level. And somebody the other day talked to me, which is never used. He loves Indian food, but he's diabetic, and he started making the spinach paneer. He made paneer, which is the cottage cheese from scratch. He did that. He said he made ghee. He talked to his friends and colleagues, Indian friends. He said, I made ghee from this cookbook. And they said, how did you learn that?
That's awesome.
So I was so thrilled actually to hear that. Now people are starting to cook and enjoying it. See, when Americans cook, that's when I really love to hear that, because it's intimidating. They think curry is, first of all, it's hot. It's not hot the way, you can layer the flavors. You can see I have, in my blend actually, I've added different kinds of paprika to get that smoky tandoori flavor. So instead of having cayenne pepper in that. So it's very delicate. It's very tasteful, but not only that, the most important portion is, and I forgot to mention, is the health aspects. It's anti-inflammatory. 2 things can affect your body very badly. It's the oxidation and the inflammation. These spices prevent that. It fights it in your body. So it's immune system boosting. Turmeric, for example, has this compound called curcumin, which prevents inflammation. And then when you use turmeric with black pepper, I believe it absorbs in your body better. See, sometimes people get caught up in turmeric, and I see them taking in just powder. I think you have to be careful doing that. Indians, we use turmeric, but you have to know how to use not too much of turmeric, but the right amount with the right way technique. For example, turmeric has to be put along with fat to absorb in your body. So always you see spices are added in oil. That is the reason why they do this. So you never eat raw spices. So you have to put that in oil, especially ghee or any kind of coconut oil and things like that, good fats. And that helps absorb in your body better. All these spices are actually really helps with controlling your sugar level, blood sugar level, and immune system boosting. So it has a lot of properties, most of these spices. And I have chosen specifically all these great spices which enhances your health. So it is not only tasty, but it's a powerful health benefits are there by using these spices.
So there's a cooking technique that you talk about for tempering spices called tadka. Is that right?
Yes. Tadka is a seasoning method. We put in oil, like, whole spices like cumin and curry leaves. And curry leaf is a herb, special herb we use in Kerala, down south. So you put all these things in the spice and it splutters. So you have to be careful with the heat. It should not burn. And then that really enhances the flavor. That is the tadka method. Then you have the masala method where you mix it with the dry powder with some kind of wet ingredient like vinegar or lemon juice or water, and then you add it to the pan. And the heat, when you do the saute the masalas, you have to be careful. It cannot be too hot, so it doesn't burn. The dum method, DUM, which is like a sealing, it's like a roasting method. You seal the pot. For example, when you make biryani, which is like a rice cooked with spices, they used to do this method in a clay pot by sealing the pot with dough. So it steams and cooks inside and everything is so fragrant and very healthy way of cooking. So I'm just mimicking all these techniques in our modern kitchen.
So what would you say is your favorite recipe in this book?
My classic recipe is the turkey meatball, which everybody loves. It's a very practical recipe, which is healthy. In the sense, my mother used to make it with lamb or beef, but I changed it into turkey meat, and the ginger and the garlic and the herbs really make it flavorful. And then you can make these meatballs and steam and keep in your refrigerator for a week. And whenever you need it, you can use it with a roti, with a little dollop of raita. It's a perfect meal for a weeknight meal for the whole family.
Awesome.
That sounds so good, and I
It
feel like
does.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really nice and easy recipe. Like you just pulse in the food processor, onions and chilies and ginger and everything together, and then just mix it up and steam it in a pan. And then you keep it in the fridge. Whenever you want, you can grill it or just pan saute it. And then you can buy, if you don't want to make, you can get whole wheat rotis, or you can get everything now. So just put raita. Raita is easy to make.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a wholesome meal. Thing is, it doesn't have much oil, doesn't have much salt. So it's so flavorful and it's so good for you and it's satisfying.
Yes, that is the key, right? I just love the philosophy of that you're layering flavors. You're not adding fat or sugar or salt to add the flavor. It's the spices that are, and I just think it's a different take than the mindset here is in America. We want to ask one last question. We usually ask our folks that we have on to interview, and then we'll finish up with a couple of fun things that we have partnered with May. So I'm going to have Sharon ask that question because she always seems to ask that question.
May, can you tell us something? It doesn't have to be related to the cookbook or spices, but it could be. Can you tell us something about yourself that nobody knows or not very many people know?
Nobody knows.
Or not many people.
Yeah, put you on the spot here.
I was actually hired from India as a knowledge engineer, and I was head of knowledge management. Here, I came alone to this country, and I established myself. And I didn't mention too much in the book about that because there's no need for that. Yeah. So, but I was here. I was a busy mom, and it was difficult. Thing is to juggle everything together. But I wanted to bring back the health aspect to my family. So I started introducing this. And I'm also very much involved with the community. I'm a philanthropist as well. I give 30% of my business income to local communities and charities. So that's one of my passion as well.
That's
impressive. That's awesome.
That's so awesome. Well, with that, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time and being on our podcast today. We have a couple of fun things. So May, like Sharon mentioned at the very beginning of the podcast, she has a website and it's called passionforspices.com. And go there, you guys. You got to just go check it out. There's a ton of really fun stuff there. So she has a blog that she writes for. She talks about the background. She also has links to her classes. So if you're in New Jersey, if you're in that neck of the woods, you should check out those classes. They've got different recipes.
And she has a shop.
Yes. And that is where we want to talk about. So in her pantry, she has spices that she makes sure are organic. They are well sourced. They're sustainable. And so she has a couple of spice mixes, the Carolyn curry one, as well as the Kashmiri garam masala. And those you can purchase from her site anytime. It's just go to passionforspices.com. She has offered our listeners, thank you so much, May, a 50% off those spices if you enter the coupon code HUNGRY. And so just do the coupon code HUNGRY, and that will all be in upper cases. /hungry, and you'll get 50% off of her spice blends. Thank you so much, May, for that. First of all, that
That's
is
so generous.
I know. I'm like, I'm going to go buy some spices. So, because
Thank you so much. It was so awesome discussing with you and sharing my wisdom of cooking with spices.
And then the other one thing we want to talk about is May's book, obviously. This book is awesome. We're so excited for people to cook from it. And so we have a copy of the Indian Cuisine Diabetic Cookbook for one of our listeners. So if you will go to Instagram at Hungry Squared, and you will find basically what you need to do to enter to win a copy of this cookbook. Once again, May, thank you so much. This has been delightful. I learned a ton.
Yes. It was so fun.
Thank you so much. And then people can sign up on my newsletter as well. We'll be happy to provide information, and we'll be writing blogs, and happy to connect with everyone who's interested in learning more.
Thank you so much, May.
Take care.
Our podcast is brought to you by our awesome and food-loving sponsors. Our first sponsor is Zip Schedules. Hungry Squared is supported by Zip Schedules online employee scheduling software. Scheduling employees on a day-to-day basis can be time-consuming for any business manager. Make writing schedules a breeze and create your next work schedule in minutes. With Zip Schedules, you can automatically communicate your schedules to your employees.
And because they have a mobile app that you can have all of your employees check and update their schedules from anywhere. It's really very convenient. So Zip Schedules makes scheduling effortless for you as a small business owner, restaurant owner, hotel manager. And with Zip Schedules, thank you so much. You get your first 30 days for free by visiting zipschedules.com. And when you use the promo code HUNGRY, and that's HUNGRY in all upper cases, you'll receive 20% off each month for up to a year when you sign up. Thank you so much for partnering with us, Zip Schedules.
Let's have a food fight.
Food fight, food fight, food fight, food fight. It's winter.
This is the segment where you can email us with your relationship questions relating to food. You can email us at hungrysquared@gmail.com.
Disclaimer, we are in no way professional relationship experts, but you should totally listen to us anyway. If you need professional help, please seek it out.
Food fight, food fight, food fight. The food fight segment of the show. Here we go.
Okay.
Winter, do you have this week's question?
I do. It's actually shout out to one of our regular listeners, Kira. I know she signed it differently, but it's Kira. Hi, how's it going?
Hi. Hi, Summer.
So she wrote, "Dear hot ladies," because we are, right?
Sure. It's summer.
It is summer. Yeah. I'm in need of ideas for recipes to start testing in the geek-themed food truck arena.
Yeah.
Okay, did you get that? Geek-themed food truck.
Okay.
Sounds like they've got an idea. I have a couple of ideas for insane burgers, but have you got anything in a side dish for me to try? Love you both and insist my coworkers listen in with me every week. Sincerely, the fried foods are strong with this one. That was a good one, Kira. I like that.
So I would say keep going on that fried food idea.
Yes.
So if you're doing burgers and fries always go together. You can call the fries something cute, especially if they're like steak fries.
Kind of the bigger, fatter fries.
Yeah, you could call them some type of sword, sword in the stone, whatever.
Okay.
Geeks like swords, LARPers like swords.
So many.
Fry swords. Whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and it depends on what your burger is too, because you might want to pair that together.
You could.
So swords. Okay. I was thinking onion rings. I love onion rings.
One ring to rule us all.
Okay, so you can do a little Lord of the Rings.
Like a whole onion slice.
Mm-hmm.
So like the descending layers of onions. So the big one
is the one to rule them all.
Yeah, because it keeps all the other little layers together.
Okay, so you could do the onion rings, do Lord of the Rings, because everybody loves the Lord of the Rings, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah.
How about fried mushrooms? You can make that a Mario Brothers reference.
Do.
Yeah.
Do.
Okay, I got another one. I think that would be fun.
What?
Doctor Who.
Oh.
Yep. So, I think it's the 11th Doctor.
Okay.
So
No,
I don't know really that well, but I've heard that there was an episode where he he wasn't really like, he had the weirdest food cravings, I guess. And so he got, he made fish fingers, like those frozen fish finger things, fish sticks.
Yeah, I don't think fish have fingers.
They don't. Those fish sticks, right?
Okay.
And he dipped it with a custard sauce.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think you can do that. You could do fried fish sticks and a custard sauce, and you can call it the Doctor Who fish custard. I think they call it fish custard.
Okay.
Skeptical, but
You will skeptical.
You will definitely know.
I was not able to watch any more Doctor Who after being introduced to it by the Weeping Angel episode.
Oh,
which gave me.
I feel like you shouldn't start with that one.
Well, yeah, one of our friends did that.
So I just want to point out that Alton Brown does have a fish sticks with custard recipe.
Does he really?
He totally does. And so he's got and it's I want to know that
is Alton a Whovian?
I kind of think he is.
What?
So, but because I was thinking the custard was like a sweet custard. It's not a sweet custard. It's
because that would be gross.
It would be totally gross.
Fish.
But I kind of thought it. Who knows? The Doctor Who. He may have been just like. But this one has Dijon mustard in it, some milk, lemon juice, salt, an egg yolk. So it's kind of
okay.
It's the savory one.
Custardy, but it's savory.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm just saying that could be a thing.
Geeks like comfort food, remember? And so you could probably name anything that's comfort food in a geek way.
There's ways.
You could fry anything, like a Twinkie, licorice, for instance. If you wanted to have Wonder Woman's lasso of truth, you could fry up some licorice or do something creative.
Yeah, but how is that going to work though? If you
people will eat that crap. But no, they'll eat it. They'll eat it to say that they ate it.
The lasso of the lasso, I can just imagine that licorice like melting. Like I'm assuming you would breading
think
it.
That a Snickers bar would melt in the fried oil too, but people are able to fry that.
Well, it just makes it warm, right? So maybe just the licorice will stay just sort of warmish, gooey-ish.
You could figure it out. I mean, if you're in the testing stages, I want to hear how this goes.
I know. Yes, let's send us how it goes.
I think so I happen to know that Kira belongs to a group of people here in Utah that have a monthly nerd night.
What did they do at this nerd night?
It's really fun. It's a potluck.
Oh, nice.
Then they play games. Like it's board games, or there's a couple of video games that go on occasionally.
Yeah.
But it's mostly board games.
Super fun.
Exploding kittens and different types of fun stuff.
Yeah. A little Settlers of Catan, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
There are
many board games.
I would venture to say that there have been hundreds played. Different.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, cool.
I think you should do a crowdsource there.
Yes. Yeah. Float it out to them and I think they will come up with some good stuff.
Yeah.
Go to report back.
Yes, please report back. I want to hear how this goes. Thanks for joining us today for our show. You can find us at hungrysquared.com on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play Music.
Please subscribe to our podcast if you have not done so already. We're excited that you guys meet us here every single week. And once again, you guys, we do have some exciting things happening this summer on the podcast. And we are hoping that one of our listeners is going to will win something this summer, a big something this summer.
Oh yeah, there is a possibility for a big, big something.
So stay tuned till next week. We will have more details on what we're doing and how you can get involved. So yeah, join us next Monday for our next episode of Food Nerdery.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Hungry Squared, yeah, Hungry Squared.